If you're like me and your work or play causes your hands to get really dirty, then sometimes you need a really serious hand cleaner to get them clean. One of the problems with some of those hand cleaners is they just tear your skin up and tear your hands up, and they contain a lot of harsh solvents and different things like that. Well, in this video, we're going to take a look at a very heavy-duty hand cleaner that's a lot easier on your hands. It's biodegradable, contains no toxic solvents, and uses walnut shells as one of the main ingredients. I'm talking about the Tuffnut hand cleaner. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. So you may think it's really weird to see a hand cleaner video on this channel, but if you're like me, whether you work with your hands, I'm a plumber by the way, in case you didn't know that, or if you spend a lot of time building fires and working in the outdoors, or just working in general, working on the old bug out Bronco, any of that kind of thing, your hands just can get really dirty, and sometimes regular old soap just doesn't cut it. So what most of the heavy-duty hand cleaners use is some kind of grit in there. And honestly, most of them use pumice or pumice. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but basically it's just ground up volcanic rock. So it has very sharp microscopic edges on it, and it causes little micro tears in your skin, which is why if you use that hand cleaner a lot, your skin gets kind of rough and dried out and kind of, damaged, and it just makes your hands not feel the greatest in the world. And a lot of them contain really kind of, petroleum-based solvents. So anyway, the folks at Tuffnut, there's their logo. They contacted me and asked me if I'd be interested in checking out their hand cleaner and if I liked it, having them sponsor a video. So I did. Obviously, we're having a video now, so you can probably figure out that I did like it. What I really liked about it is that not only does it not have petroleum-based solvents, because I try to avoid putting petroleum-based stuff on my skin because stuff is absorbed through your skin. That's how those nicotine patches work, and it's just best to not put that stuff in your skin. And plus, it doesn't contain pumice, which is like the little really minutely sharp, microscopically sharp, probably volcanic rock that can just causes little bitty micro tears in your skin. So that's why your hands get kind of dry sometimes. And then also, it doesn't contain something which I actually learned through my research in trying to research this product. There's some things they call micro beads, which I think may even be illegal in USA now, but they're little minute pieces of plastic that do the same thing. They create some grit so you can scrub the dirt away, the ground in dirt, because you need something, but they just create pollution problems, and they're plastic, right? So they last basically forever. So this is a biodegradable walnut shell based cleaner. Uses cosmetic grade walnut shells, contains no pumice, no microbeads, no petroleum products, and no artificial fragrances. So it's just all pretty natural, as natural as you're going to get and still get your hands clean. And it's supposed to work on grease and tar and oil and paint and just all kinds of stuff that people who work with their hands or play with their hands get on their hands. So all that sounded really good, but as they say, the proof is in the doing, so I had to test this out. So what I did, I went and reached under the hood of the old bug out Bronco, and I grabbed as much greasy, dirty stuff as I could with my hands and ground them all in and watered them in. Went up to the old kitchen sink, I grabbed the Tuffnut and said, we'll do the grease test first. So that's a pretty common thing that I used to get on my hands a lot. So you can see in the footage, it did a really, really good job of getting the grease off my hands. I was really impressed. Got it out of the cracks, even got it out from under my fingernails, and I didn't even have a brush. So pretty good there. So next, I decided to go one step further, and I took some marking paint that I use in my job to kind of mark concrete that's going to be cut. And it's orange paint, sprayed it on my hands, way more than I would normally get, because sometimes when you hold a can of spray paint down, you get that little bit on your finger. Well, I did that, and I thought, you know what, let's just go for the gusto. So I painted my hands up pretty good, kind of let it dry, and then washed them. And as you can see from the suds getting orange, it actually was pulling the paint off my hands. And again, really, really surprised that it did as good a job as it did. It got all the paint off my hands. I really expected a little residue again in the fingerprints and the cracks. It's all gone. It did a really good job. So next, I decided to do something which was probably potentially a mistake. I grabbed a gel pen, took it apart, and smeared a little ink on my hands, because that's always something that's kind of hard to get off. Well, I learned that a little bit of gel ink goes a long way, and I turned up with my whole hands looking bluish purple. And I scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed, and I probably washed them 3 or 4 times, scrubbed as hard as I could for a grand total of literally 5 minutes of scrubbing. And it got most of it off. I have to say I was really impressed by that, because I thought my hands were going to be blue for a week, because I've known people that worked around the printing industry and their hands were always covered in ink, and they washed them a lot with a lot of everything that was available at that time. And you can see it's been 2 days now, and this is just how tough the ink is. I don't know if you can really see that if the camera picks it up, but there's still a little bit of color in the cracks there. So that proves how tough the ink is, because I've taken a couple of showers, washed my hair, washed my hands several times. It's still there. So I got to say the tough stuff was really impressive to me on the ink, which might be some of the hardest stuff there is to get off. But what I really liked about it was the fact that after I scrubbed my hands two times, once with the grease, once with the paint, and for 5 solid minutes, really hard to get the ink off, my hands are literally soft and just really smooth. It didn't have any abrasion, none of that sandpaper feeling, none of that dry feeling. They feel fine. They're really, I don't know, I was really impressed by it. I think that the Tuffnut not only did exactly what it's supposed to do, because if it doesn't clean your hands, it doesn't matter, right? Not only did it clean my hands really well, but I like the fact that it's based on walnut shells. These are biodegradable. My hands are soft and comfortable. There are no micro tears going on there. No petroleum-based solvents. Just a really very effective, yet very much safer and biodegradable hand cleaner, heavy-duty hand cleaner from the folks at Tuffnut. Now this bottle, this size, I think is 13.53 ounces. Okay, I don't think it is 13.53 ounces. It's available on Amazon at the time of this video, at least, for $12.95. For this is a good sized bottle. This will last you a really long time, and it'll be better for your skin and better for the environment. So and it just stinking works too. So that's a win-win-win in my opinion. So anyway, if like me you work or play with your hands and they get dirty, you might want to check out the Tuffnut walnut based hand cleaner, because it just works. So thanks a lot to the folks at Tuffnut for reaching out to me and introducing me to their hand cleaner so I could show it to you, and for sponsoring this video. And as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. I put out a brand new video every Friday and Saturday, and very often random videos throughout the week. There's another one right there. And if you're not subscribed, if you click down there in the corner, be sure and click that little bell icon so you don't miss a single video. I really appreciate the support. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident. So be prepared and stay clean.